Truck's in neutral lane, turn the key on. All those noises just tells me that my computer is working. I'll put it down a bit, maybe you can see a little better. Clutch in, let's fire up the truck. Clutch out gently. Thing is beeping, but nothing looking to other hand. Okay, so our oil pressure is going up. Perfect. Water temperature, oil temperature, voltmeter. All reading. All 4 gauges have to be mentioned. Oil pressure, oil temperature, water temperature, voltmeter. Various other gauges appear to be working. Looks like we have air. And you know what? It's loading. Usually it's already full, but it's loading, so we're going to be able to hear that compressor purge in just a few minutes. We'll take care of our governor unloading our compressor. We have lots of fuel for the day. We have lights, and the dash lights are working. We have a heater, there it is, working upper and working lower. We have wipers. They not only work, but they spray water. We have a dome light. So when Alex wants to make Chinese food later, he can make Chinese food later. Oh, you hear that? Gauges are no longer going up. If that happens while you're doing this, you just want to mention that the governor has unloaded the compressor. You can tell by the sound. It's the air dryer purging. That means the compressor is not building anymore. You're at maximum pressure, which is between 105 and 135. So that worked really well. Often you're going to get in the truck and those gauges aren't going to move because it's not down low enough. So you're going to have to either at one point or the other get that governor to turn the compressor off. Okay, so we got across the dash. I'm going to finish with our steering wheel, city horn, air horn, left signal on dash, right signal on dash, hazards appear to be working, high beam, low beam, we'll check those outside later. Now sometimes you'll flick your high beam and you won't see anything. It's probably because you forgot to turn the lights on. That's why I go across the dash like that, and then I grab the steering wheel, because on these trucks when the lights are off, no high-low beam, and when you're new, that can really throw you off. The lights have to be on. Okay, high-low beam work. That's basically our dash, steering wheel. Starting again on the left, window goes up and down. Mirrors are in good working order. All glass here is in good condition. Glass on the front is in good condition. Our pre-trip and registration. Pre-trip's right there. Registration insurance is all right up in here. On the far side, window goes up and down. Sounds like a children's book. Mirrors are in good working condition. The examiner's seat, he or she will be sitting there. Don't knock them out of it, but make sure it's secure. Ask them if they can please put their seatbelt on. Click, click. They may or they may not. Just make sure you ask. My seat is secure. My seatbelt I would put on, and I would make it go click, click. Oh, okay, we're ready to go for the day. Okay, we basically covered everything in the dash and more. It's all in good working condition. Now what we're going to do is our air. We've done the mechanical, we're going to do our air. To do our air, we need to release our brakes. That's how you start it. It's not going to go anywhere because we have our blocks down. That's why we painted lime green, because you can see them in the mirror. So the blocks are out, the brakes are off. First thing we're going to do is make our governor load our compressor. You can see now the gauges are not moving. They're stuck there until they go down really about 20 pounds below what the governor max is at, which is 135 on this truck. But the book says 80 to 85 psi if your compressor's got to be loaded by the governor. We'll just go down a little bit. Don't worry about compounding. Brakes are off. We're good. Give it a couple good pushes and we'll give it a little fuel here. Yep, gauges are climbing. Our governor has loaded our compressor. We'll go down a little bit further. Now we want to see what happens. Supposedly before or by 60, this one before, your low air warning devices come on, visual and audio, that irritating. So that's working. Now what we do is we just take this right down. We want between 20 and 45 pounds. Our trailer protection system is supposed to come on and pop that red button. Oh, they both popped. You can't really compound anything right now because you have no air pressure to compound anything. So they popped, so we know that our trailer protection system is working, so we're going to get out now and take a wrench back there and do a visual to make sure that our trailer brakes are on. Okay, so I've wandered back to the trailer and I'm going underneath here. and you can see those brakes are on tight. So trailer protection system is working. Let's go out. We got to check something on the way up before we get back in the cab. All right, so we were at the back of the truck. We pulled on the trailer brake, push rod, it was locked on. Now before we get back in the cab, we are going to remove these hands. Try and keep my ugly mug out of the picture. We're going to check for leaks. Have no leaks anywhere. All lines, including electrical, look to be in good working condition. Now I'm going to go inside the cab. I'm going to do a 5-second brake application. But there were no leaks from these lines, and that's all you're really checking for. Not much to leak out anyways. Put your lines back on. I'm going to see if I can focus in on this. There, see those lines? Let me put a finger on them. Right here. Smooth and round, okay? Don't put them on crooked. Now you ain't gonna win you no brownie points. Okay, we're ready to get back in the cab. We've emptied the air tanks, and now we're gonna build them up and mention a few things as we go along. Don't forget your tools. Neutral lane, clutch in, fire up the truck. So now that we're in here, we're gonna do a couple things. We emptied the air tanks, now we're gonna fill them up. Between 50 and 90 PSI, that has to build to that pressure within 3 minutes. So we bring our RPM up to 1,000. It just hit 50. I'm going to time it. First gauge hits 50. Second gauge hits 90. Stop. That's got to happen within 3 minutes. Second gauge is now building. Remember, first gauge 50. First gauge to 50 started. Last gauge to 90. Stop it. Hear that? Warning devices came off. Audio and visual. I want to mention that. Okay, we just hit 90. That took about a minute, 20 seconds, so we know that's working well. Here's what I do. I release these, and I let them fill. I let them fill. I want some air in there. You can see when you put those in, it drops. It drops a lot. Basically want that hissing to stop on the dash. It's coming up again, 100, 120. Once you're at 120, you're pretty safe to turn the truck off. That hissing on the dash should stop. Of course, the fan comes on. Okay, the hissing has stopped on the dash, because here's what I like to do. Before I get out, I know my brakes are off. I'm going to do a hard brake application, about 100 pounds. I'm going to hold it for 1 minute and make sure that I do not lose more than 4 PSI on my air systems. So I would hold that for 1 minute. Oh, a minute's up. We did not lose 4 PSI. That means we're not losing any air in our truck in a safe manner. And we're still well over 100. 110. So now we can go back and safely pull on all the brake chambers, and we'll have no problem. So left thing goes on. Low beam is on. Yep. And let's get out and do the rest.